Hi and welcome to CBN4's Primetime News Package for today. I'm your presenter, Alian Christopher. Making the top stories today. Leader of the opposition cautions the DLP against using necessity of anti-terrorism legislation as cover. Counterfeit notes confiscated in the Commonwealth of Dominica and the Eastern Caribbean urges public to be on guard. We'll also bring you the information as it relates to a tropical wave currently affecting the island. Stay tuned for these and other stories when CBN4's Primetime News Package returns. We'll be right back.
Sweet talk, dear man, never lot of that. Yes, sir. You don't know it's your boy Trilogy, urging everybody, young and old, to stay strong and stay healthy. You don't know we're doing it for 2018. Boom.
And welcome back. Leader of the opposition, Honorable Lennox Linton, has stated that given where we are in Dominica, it is good to caution the ruling Dominica Labour Party against using the necessity of anti-terrorism legislation as cover for the introduction of legal provisions that will terrorize citizens exercising their constitutional right to dissent and protest against corrupt, incompetent government. Linton said since the passage of anti-terrorism legislation in other countries around the Caribbean more than a decade ago, the people have seen and witnessed firsthand in Dominica the Dominica Labour Party describing and criticizing the United Workers' Party publicly as a terrorist organization and referring to its members as terrorists.
Patriotic Dominicans need to understand that this constant attack on the CBI program is tantamount to economic terrorism on the part of its perpetrators.
I concur with those who associate such an act of ingratitude, lack of sensitivity, and mischief as one of terrorism, which merits destruction.
We must let them know that just as Obama is going after Al-Qaeda, we will go after them. We must let them know that we had enough, and enough is enough. And like Obama going after Al-Qaeda brothers and sisters, whether they hide in Marigot, whether they hide in La Plaine, whether they hide in Salisbury, we Laborites are going after them.
We do need spiritual drones to exterminate, or at least silence and transform the lives of those who are specialized in hatred of people and that of country.
We do not need people hell-bent on destruction, hell-bent on political terrorism. These guys are political terrorists, they're suicide bombers, they're like the Taliban, they're like Al-Qaeda.
From our point of view, there is political terrorism being practiced in Dominica by the United Workers' Party, particularly by the talking heads on Q95, particularly by the talking heads on Q95.
We must bring an end to the terrorism of the United Workers' Party. We must bring an end to the terrorism of Q95. We must bring an end to the terrorism of Frank Barron Chronicle newspaper.
Linton further noted that it is this very same group of people that is now bringing anti-terrorist legislation before the Parliament with a vague definition of a terrorist act.
On the 25th of June, the ruling party will be seeking parliamentary approval for the Anti-terrorism Bill of 2018. That bill contains certain provisions which exclude from the definition of terrorist act only those acts which disrupt any service and are committed in pursuance of a demonstration, protest, or stoppage of work. Clearly, this exception is inadequate because the people of Dominica would have to be concerned about the political meetings, the demonstrations, the protests, or the stoppage of work that do not disrupt any service, but in respect of which the ruling party takes objection because such meeting or demonstration or protest or stoppage of work is demanding a certain action from the government or is seeking to persuade the government or to force the government to move away from doing something which the demonstrators or the protesters feel to be wrong and against the public interest. So, while there is a provision in the proposed bill excluding from the definition of terrorist act those acts which disrupt any service and are committed in pursuance of a demonstration, protest, or stoppage of work, clearly this exception is inadequate. The bill is in breach of fundamental rights and freedoms enshrined in the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and if passed into law, can cause any law-abiding citizen who is a freedom fighter to be targeted, searched, detained, prosecuted, and convicted as a terrorist. Indeed, anyone who stands against government policies could be deemed a terrorist and could face up to 25 years in jail. I'm of the view that the sophisticated and trans-border nature of terrorism demands firm international cooperation and strong national capacity to deal with terrorist activity. We are late in the game. As I pointed out just now, there are a number of other Caribbean countries that have had this legislation in place for over 10 years. So the question now becomes for us, what is the motivation to doing it at this time? And the behavior as though we are out front leading, we are way behind the 8 ball where that is concerned. And so we should be bringing on board the benefit of experience over the past 10 years in presenting legislation that effectively protects the exercise of fundamental rights and freedoms under the Constitution of Dominica from being classified as acts of terrorism. And while I'm one of those firmly committed to...
The United Workers' Party had earlier stated through a press release that while it is committed to taking firm and comprehensive measures to protect the citizens of Dominica against terrorist activity, it will, without compromise, continue to respect and promote the values enshrined in and the rights and freedoms guaranteed by the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Dominica. And the Criminal Investigations Department, CID, of the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force has confirmed that a sum of counterfeit EC notes has been confiscated in the Commonwealth of Dominica. The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, ECCB, therefore advises the public to be on the lookout for counterfeit notes. The Eastern Caribbean Bank wishes to remind the public that counterfeit notes have no value and that it is a criminal offense to use or be in possession of counterfeit notes. The Eastern Caribbean Bank urges the public to note the security features of genuine EC notes, which include 1. A security thread with text reading ECCB, which incorporated into the paper. The thread can be seen clearly through the paper. 2. A serial number printed vertically on the left-hand side and horizontally on the right-hand side of the notes. No two notes of the same denomination bear the same serial number. 3. On the front left-hand side, a watermark of Queen Elizabeth II can be seen when the note is held up to light. A watermark highlight which reads ECCB can also be seen clearly when the note is held up to light. 4. An image of several fishes printed with special ink which glows is at the center of the back of the note. 5. Genuine banknotes are printed on special paper which gives them a unique feel. Individuals who think they may be in possession of Eastern Caribbean counterfeit notes should report the matter to the police station nearest to them. And in other news, a number of entrepreneurs and small business owners on Wednesday graduated from the Dominica Youth Business Trust program. Minister for Commerce, Enterprise and Small Business Development, Honorable Rosalind Paul, congratulated the graduates on a successful journey on behalf of the Minister for Youth, Sports and Constituency Empowerment, Justina Charles, who was unable to attend the graduation function.
Take the opportunity on her behalf and my own behalf to express congratulations to all 22 young people, young entrepreneurs, or potential business persons who are graduating here today. We commend as well all of those who has worked with you and continue to work hard with you. And based on the expressions here, the testimonies here, we know that you go even beyond probably your call of duty to reach out to these young entrepreneurs, and that is very important. So we commend you, all of the administrators, the implementers of your program at the DYBT, and also of the trustees who steer the entire program. And we assure you that we are happy to know that you have not made today a reality, but you are setting a stronger base for young entrepreneurs for their future and towards increased economic activities among the youth of our nation.
Over the years, the DYBT has trained over 1,000 young people, 555 males and 438 females, and supported over 500 businesses.
Through the DYBT program, support has been provided through mentorship, business training, business planning, business advisory, and a loan guarantee facility. The DYBT has also forged important partnerships to offer you opportunities within the wider Caribbean region, example through Propel. And we heard testimony of how Propel has offered you equipments that are critical to your business. And so I will urge that you can continue, you, not only you here, but the youth will continue to draw on and maximize such opportunities to advance yourselves as young entrepreneurs. Through the DYBT and other support programs by our government, we increasingly see young, successful entrepreneurs emerge. I can attest to that fact, as quite a few of DYBT trainees, participants of the program, have approached the ministry either to complement the funds received, to accelerate or expand their businesses, or even for startup. We complement very well the work of the Dominica Youth Business Trust, and in fact, I would say our ministry played a big brother, big sister role to the DYBT clients.
the BPIA committee assessment of 6 entrepreneurs all received monetary prizes for their outstanding performances during the program. 5 of these entrepreneurs received $1,000 each as merit award, while 1 entrepreneur was the recipient of $5,000 as the 27th BPIA winner. Stay tuned, we'll be back with more news right after this break. And welcome back to CBN4's Primetime News Package. The United Nations World Food Programme, WFP, earlier today handed over key logistics assets worth over $500,000 to the government of the Commonwealth of Dominica as part of its efforts to strengthen its preparedness and response capacities for future emergencies. The assets include mobile storage units, office and accommodation, vehicles, boats, emergency telecommunication assets, and IT equipment. These will allow the country to strengthen its local capacities to plan, transport, and distribute relief for the current hurricane season, which began on the 1st of June and will end on the 30th of November.
Is looking to strengthen the government's capacity to face any other emergency that may rise in the future. WFP hopes that this equipment can help Dominicans be better prepared for the new hurricane season. I want to thank the government of the Commonwealth of Dominica for its support and fruitful collaboration in order to make this logistics operation a success.
The World Food Programme also thanked its donors for their support to this emergency operation.
I want to thank our donors, especially the Government of Canada, the European Commission, Luxembourg, the United Arab Emirates, the United Kingdom, and the United States of America, as well as the private sector and the UN Central Emergency Response Fund for their support for this emergency operation. Thank you very much to all. Thank you again to the Office of Disaster Management, to the Government of the Commonwealth of Dominica. Thank you.
Meantime, Minister for the Environment, Climate Resilience, Disaster Management and Urban Renewal, Honorable Joseph Isaac, on behalf of the Government of Dominica, expressed gratitude to the World Food Programme for a valuable gift of resources which will be put into good use.
Very, very happy to receive on behalf of the government and the people of the Commonwealth of Dominica the World Food Programme assets valued at more than US $500,000 or EC $1.3 million. These assets have been used to assist the people of Dominica post-Hurricane Maria and now will be in place for further use as we enter the new hurricane season. The equipment, vehicles and other logistic resources are greatly needed at this time as we prepare and will also be used to continue the great work of the World Food Programme. Let me on behalf of the government and the people of the Commonwealth of Dominica thank you, sir. The World Food Programme, through you, the representative today. Please convey our gratitude to the principals at the World Food Programme and the many donors who would have made these assets available to you and now to us. We thank you and we ask God to continue to bless you.
The Dominican government also noted that as the country moves into full gear on its climate resilience agenda, this support by the World Food Programme is timely and greatly appreciated. Outside the hurricane season, the resources will be used by the National Emergency Planning Organization, NEPO, through the Office of Disaster Management for preparedness and mitigation and adaptation activities, and should any emergency or disaster situation arises, it will be put to work. Moreover, World Food Programme also provided technical expertise on the supply chain, logistics and distribution strategies, and facilitated several trainings on supply chain, port operations and commodity and warehouse management to government officials, the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority, DASPA, and the Office of Disaster Management, the ODM. The Dominica Football Association has presented a new set of uniforms to its 3 FIFA officials. Back in January, Chavis Del Sol, Sean McDonald and Clyde Cadet were presented with their FIFA badges after making the 2018 FIFA referees list. 2 of the referees, Chavis Del Sol and Sean McDonald, were present to receive their uniforms while Clyde Cadet is out of state. Head of the Referees Association here in Dominica, Clayton Monroe, has congratulated the referees on the work they've put in thus far.
And see very resplendent, and I trust that when you put them on, that you will be just as resplendent when you perform, and that you will not be taken away by the lovely colors which are portrayed here. So I wish you once again all the best for the year. We're in June already. You have another 7 months before we have another appointment for January 2019. So once again, I wish you all the best, and I trust that you will wear the uniforms with honor, dignity, and of course, respect to the game, as you are the leaders, you are those who are supposed to set the example to the players, and we trust that you will so do.
The president of the Dominican Football Association, Glenn Etienne, further congratulated the 3 officials, but also says the DFA expects to have many more persons on the FIFA list in the future.
Let me first of all congratulate you all for being on the FIFA panel of referees. I believe it's an important gesture for being a member of the FIFA panel, and we expect you all to do well when you all represent Dominica at any event out there. We must also remember that to get to the FIFA list of officials, it came because you were an official in the DFA leagues, and we want to thank you all for servicing our league, and that's what the reward's all about, that through the service of the DFA league that you have moved on to the FIFA list. We only have 3 persons on the list now, in 1 referee and 2 assistant referee. We would expect to have many persons, or we want to have more persons on the list. So the work is scheduled for the referees department to ensure that we have new persons and additional persons to the FIFA list. I mean, because most times you need a contingent of a party of 4, and that would, you know, be the pool. But hence here we have 3, and we expecting to have more persons in the future.
The president further encouraged the referees to do good when they represent the country. Also making the primetime news, 4 teams have made it to the finals of the DAVA Business League. Domlec, Prison Services, NEP Workers and Scotiabank prevailed over the competition to secure their places to compete for the title of champion. The games kick off this Saturday from 4 p.m. while with a the semi-final battle between the NEP Workers and Prison Services to be followed by semi-final number 2 between league point leaders and Bolorama champions Domlec and Scotiabank. Games on the final day of the competition kick off at 3 p.m. when the unsuccessful teams from the semi-final matches battle for 3rd place. Following that, the matchup of the winners of the semi-finals will then clash for the 1st place, or rather the champions. All games will be held at the Hard Court at 12th Street in Canefield. And a westward moving tropical wave is expected to generate an increase in cloudiness, shower activity, which could be moderate to heavy at times, and possible isolated thunderstorms across the island chain during the next 24 hours. People in areas prone to flooding, landslides, and falling rocks are advised to be vigilant and to exercise caution, as a flood watch or a warning may be issued if conditions warrant. Moderate seas are expected during the next 24 hours, with waves peaking near 7 feet. An increase in wave heights can be expected by tomorrow. And with that, we come to the end of today's Primetime News package. On behalf of the entire CBN4 team, I'm Alian Christopher saying thank you for watching, and join us again next time.